Hello, welcome to the 49th Special Moves podcast. My name's Mike Williams. These guys are Jake Lukowski and Liam McKelvey.
Hello.
Hiya. You alright?
Quietly removing the PlayStation controller. I see, it was alright there, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
It's a gaming podcast.
Well, it's gone now.
Nice bit of decoration.
Yeah.
It seemed insincere. Like they're not
Yeah,
going to
like
believe. They're not going to believe
Yeah.
if we say, "Oh, we've just been watching Death Stranding gameplay, Tokyo Game Show 2019."
Yeah, which we literally have.
Yeah.
Hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's good.
Everyone listening or everyone here?
Just everyone.
Oh right, yeah.
Just everyone.
Yeah.
Why
same,
wouldn't I?
Same really.
Why would I select a group?
Yeah, just specifically the people listening and watching, but not you two.
Yeah, especially those people, I suppose. But
yeah.
yeah, remember.
Well, actually, especially, yeah, for sure, because they spend their time listening.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
don't have to.
That's what I was going to say. You can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, all that other stuff. You know, podcast player. I can't remember what it's called.
Bean?
No, there's an app. But
Oh,
then
why?
when you download the app,
Podcast?
no,
No, that's actually just
I know
the
what you
thing.
mean.
That's actually just what they're called,
I
isn't
can't
it?
remember what it's called. But then after you've installed
Yeah.
it sort of changes name to podcast player, even though when you download it from the store.
Yeah, no, I know what you're on about now. It's got like an orange
Something
logo,
box.
I think.
I use it literally every day, and I can't remember.
Castbox.
Castbox.
It's what it is.
We're
There as well. You might think, hey, you mentioned that last week as well. It's just because, we just
That's what
recently,
you're meant to do.
Yeah.
You meant
and
to
also,
mention it.
we just realised, oh my god, there's loads of people. More people listen than on YouTube.
Yeah, and if you are listening, you can watch it on YouTube. If you want to see exciting action like Jake removing the PlayStation 4 controller from the arm of the chair, which happened at the beginning.
I'll tell you what, the YouTube people did get the treat of you talking into the mug last week, and they were going wild.
Yeah.
It was off the charts, the fans. I literally had charts. I was comparing the
Yeah,
charts.
Jake's a big stats man.
And the big data, remember? and they were just off the charts. So yeah.
Anyway, enough of that. What have you been playing this week, boys?
What have I been playing? Bit of Final Fantasy VIII Remastered.
Oh yeah.
Still one of my favourite games ever.
Yeah.
And it's an alright remaster as far as remasters go.
What you got it on again? Remind
Switch.
me. Switch, yeah.
And it's not the best remaster ever. There's some weird stuff in it, like there's no analog movement, like there was in the PS1 version.
Right.
So you've actually lost the feature from the PS1, which is a bit weird.
So you have to use the...
You can use the analog stick, but it only goes 8 ways instead of full
Yeah.
360
Oh,
degrees.
yeah,
I know
okay.
what you mean.
I think it's a thing in the other Final Fantasy ports as well. But the music's good. They've got the full orchestral music instead of the shite synthesized one from the PC version.
Right.
Although there's a bug in it where sometimes the old MIDI version comes back in, which I don't get that
This
either.
does sound amazing.
Like a haunting. Like
Honestly,
the versions refuse to move on.
Like I fought a battle in Dollet, which is like the first proper set piece moment of the game. Finished the battle, but then the MIDI version of the music came in, and it is very stark how shit it sounds.
That's amazing.
Compared to the actual fully orchestrated one.
I
That's
did see
amazing.
some people talking about this music bug online, but I didn't know what it
Yeah,
was.
how horrifying the results would be.
I'm not sure if it's been fixed yet. But the character models, I quite like them because that was the biggest change.
Yeah,
they like put really updated high-res character models in. They do clash a bit against the backgrounds because the backgrounds are still quite low-res,
Yeah.
a bit pixely.
You get that on the others. I think is it Final Fantasy 9 where it's like the models
Similar
are
thing,
nice,
yeah.
but the
Yeah.
The
backgrounds,
backgrounds are like really
yeah.
poor filtering job.
So they sort of pop out of them in a weird way.
Yeah,
exactly.
a little bit.
It's almost like
They don't meld with them that well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, having said that, the backgrounds are like hand drawn, really nice.
Yeah, and they lost the artwork, so it's not a lot you can do.
Nothing you
sadly.
can do about it. Well, apart from make it again, I
Well,
suppose.
there's a good mod on PC for Final Fantasy 9 where someone took them, the backgrounds, ran them through a AI upscaler, and they look fucking well good.
So AI sorted it out.
Yeah, just like going,
Thank you,
like this bit of
robots.
detail should be here, and it like recreates what it should look like at a high.
Oh, that's
pretty
really
cool.
cool.
Some cool stuff.
Yeah.
There's probably something like that in the works for the PC version of this remaster for 8.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm still loving it. But again, it's like one of my favourite games of all time.
Yeah.
So
But
I'm bound to love it, no matter what, really.
that's cool. I mean, it's something that you've wanted for ages, isn't it? Because it seemed like it wasn't really that possible for them to do.
No, Final Fantasy VIII has always been like the black sheep of the series as well,
Yeah.
because of the really weird sort of battle stat system where you have to use magic to bump up your stats, and a lot of people just don't get how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so at E3 when they were like Final Fantasy VIII Remastered, that was like, I couldn't have been happier, to be honest.
Nice one, man.
And if you've never played it before, it's a good way to play it for the first time.
It's cool to have the that convenience of playing it on the Switch and things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, every single game ever should be on the Switch, and I think that is Everyone agrees with that.
Yeah, of course. And this is just testament to that fact.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I also like, Liam, that you can just see an announcement, go, that is excellent, you buy the game, and then you actually follow through with the purchase and play it, unlike me, which is, I'll go through all them stages apart from the part where I play it properly, and I'll play it for about 2 hours, and I'll go, oh yeah. And then move on to the new thing.
It took me a while to get started on it. I had it for 2 days before I even booted it up.
Which is huge for you, right? That's like 48 hours.
I kept staring at my Switch screen going this is a 60-hour RPG.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was just getting daunted by the prospect of playing it.
Yeah, that's my life, man. I'm looking at stuff like that, and I'm like,
I finally started it, and it instantly got me back. As soon as the opening music started playing, I was like, transported back. Yeah. It was magic.
60 hours later.
I've not finished it yet. Not even finished disc 1.
Oh yeah, so you
do you know where disc 1 ends, or does it say? Or does it say?
This is where disc 1 was in the olden days.
I don't imagine
quite cool,
I don't imagine it'll say in this one because it's not a disc.
Yeah, no. But like, if it'd be nice.
In an age gone by, players had to wait and change disc at this point.
No, if it just went disc 2, do you know what I mean? Then you'd be like, oh. That was it.
Yeah, or they could call it Act 2 now, and
it was always amazing when you got to that disc change bit, though.
Yeah.
It felt like you'd accomplished something.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like you've done a little game in itself, yeah.
But you used to say this a lot, like, where every time you get a Final Fantasy, it's like you've bought 4 games because there's fucking 4 CDs in the bastard box.
Exactly.
Like, and then,
bigger the box, the better the game.
Yeah, exactly.
And now the fact, you just like
4 games for the price of one.
I'm a sucker for value. Like I reckon my waistline's so big because I go to all you can eat places and I see it as like a challenge. Like I feel like I'm getting ripped off if I'm not eating triple my body weight. Now, when it comes to Final Fantasy VII the remake. They've took this literally like the 4 game thing, and they are splitting it into like chapters. But it's not even like 1 disc per game. This new one is a full price game, and it's Midgar only, which is 2.5 hours.
1 game per disc.
Yeah, it's very, very weird. And by the way, Midgar being 2.5 hours is only if you've played it before. Like I don't think if you've played it for the first time you'd spend.
That's if you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
exactly.
But then things have moved on a lot, haven't they? So they can fill that area with all kinds of different new things.
Side quests.
God, yeah. I would just play the same bit over and over again, really, if it looks as good as it does. Like, have you seen that new shit, man? It's crazy. I'm well happy with how that's turned out. I guess we'll talk about that a bit later.
We'll move on
we can talk about it right now if you want, mate. It's our podcast.
We might as well, because we're just talking about Final Fantasy anyway. And
so it's been Tokyo Game Show, and there's been there's been some stuff, isn't there? There's big gameplay
a lot
of dominated by 2 things, really.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy, Death Stranding.
Yeah, there was that Resident Evil thing as well. Project Resistance, I guess. Is that what it's called?
Project Resistance. It hasn't got a proper name yet, just Project Resistance.
And like they showed this really this too vague trailer, didn't they? And it was like just 4 character models, don't mean anything to you, and then like a remote control Mr. X kicks a door in, and then it ends, and you were like, what? And now they showed a bit of gameplay off, and it's not what I was expecting. I don't know. Liam, you're the Resident Evil super fan, so
didn't do anything for me. It's not really what I want out of a Resident Evil game. I was hoping it was going to be like a sort of modern reinvention of Outbreak.
Yeah,
where it was like however many characters, and you went through an actual Resident Evil scenario with puzzles and combat and trying to survive it all. But this one looks more like, do you remember the Zombie Master mod for like Counter-Strike?
No.
It looks kind of like, I think it was Counter-Strike. It looks like there's a Half-Life mod that is very much like what Project Resistance looks like.
Is it like an escape room?
Project Resistance, it looks like an escape room, and as a player, you have 4 people trying to escape, and then a mastermind who can control cameras, set traps, spawn enemies in like zombies, and then like the ultimate ability seems to be spawning a Mr. X in and taking control of him.
So maybe sort of inspired by that Resident Evil 7 character who had you doing like Saw type.
It looked a bit, yeah.
What's his name? Lucas. It was Lucas. Ethan's who you play as, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's a bit like that. Yeah, but
it had that vibe to it.
Because there was a DLC, wasn't there? They added.
Yeah, it was literally like his Saw style games.
So there's one section in the main game where you go
play through the videotape, don't you?
Yeah. And then so there's like some rooms connected together, and you have to like try and get out.
Yeah, the escape room with like the clown, and if you don't do it, it'll blow up.
Yeah, exactly. So with that, mechanic already thought of for that.
Although there's
then
combat in this bit, there wasn't combat in those bits.
Okay.
in 7.
Yeah, true that.
It's like the players in Project Resistance can have guns and can fight their way out. One character's like a melee character. And it was quite funny trying to watch this like guy in a varsity high school jacket trying to beat the shit out of Mr. X like hand to hand.
See, that bit seemed like a bit Dead by Daylight, right? Like varsity
did.
jackets, the killer and stuff. So yeah, that was like, I don't know.
Didn't do anything.
I
for
don't
me.
really think anybody that's kind of into Resident Evil was like buzzing about it.
No.
When I say anybody, like I was looking for people to be excited for it. Couldn't find any.
Yeah.
Everyone was just kind of, oh, this looks quite cool, I guess. No one was like, finally, my prayers have been answered. First they changed it up with it being first person in Resident Evil 7, and now we've got the remake, and now this is exactly what I needed, a multiplayer spin-off. Like, I'm not getting anywhere, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's got to be tough that if you've come up with the idea and that, and you're showing your game to the world, and then everyone's like, okay,
Yeah.
Excuse me, mate, but where's Resident Evil 8? Or
Yeah.
are we getting Nemesis or
yeah.
what?
Liam thought it was like some Outbreak type thing. Where's that?
But
Do you know
that's
what I mean?
another
Give
thing
it-
as well. Like that's the thing now. Like knowing that they can draw from the well of previous games and like
Yeah.
remake stuff.
And it's
knowing
a
that there's-
deep well.
and it's, even with the spin-offs, like you know what I mean.
They should have done Outbreak file free and set it concurrently to like Resident Evil 2 remake or
There you go.
Nemesis remake. 'cause
Give us
that's
man a
when-
job.
So if you're listening, Capcom, right, you've done all right in the past couple of years, but don't
Yeah.
use this banana peel and slip on it.
Yeah.
Resident
And
Evil
Liam's here to help
company.
out if you need them.
Resident Evil multiplayer has not had a good time in the past.
Apart from that, I don't mind that split screen co-op shite. You know?
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
no, like,
5.
co-op, it's been fine, but there was what was it? Operation Raccoon City.
Right.
That was terrible. That was a tactical multiplayer shooter
Yeah.
set in the Resident Evil universe. There
What was the more recent one?
Umbrella Corps?
No, that is on sale on
I played
PlayStation
that.
Store right now for £2. I've never seen a game that cheap
I
on PlayStation Store.
think I'm
before.
one of 30 people who played it.
yeah.
And it was shocking. It was
Well, I'm
bad.
looking forward to your verdict on this when it comes out. So that was like a bit of a weird one. Death Stranding is a bit of a weird one as well because it's just more vagueness.
Yeah,
But
well,
then Final Fantasy 7. So this is an interesting one because everybody knows what it is because they've played everyone who's played Final Fantasy 7 knows. So like it wasn't like big shocks and surprises. It was just like look at what this looks like with a new coat of paint, much like the Resident Evil 2 remake.
yeah,
Which I just said before the podcast started. Actually, I reckon that's what's going to happen with this now. This is going to come out, smash it, and then people are going to be excited for what's going to happen next. Is it going to be Final Fantasy 8 remake from the ground up? Even though this is going to be released in like multiple parts, probably 4 or 5 parts over years, I'm imagining, and it's got to be over platforms as well because PS5 is going to be out next year.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is going to happen there? I don't know, unless they can really nail this.
Well, it's meant to be backwards compatible, isn't it?
Backwards compatible stuff, yeah. But I think it looked ace. I think you saw loads more than like the first trailers. You weren't even seeing Tifa. Now you've got pretty much every character from that matters really.
I think we've seen everyone apart from Yuffie and Vincent. We've not seen them,
Yeah,
but
like,
again, they wouldn't be in this part of the game
exactly. But you've seen all the cast that matters. You've seen another boss battle.
Yep.
You've seen well, it alludes to that.
anyway.
Cross-dressing
We saw
scene.
Don Corneo.
Yeah, Don Corneo, man, and his mansion's looking alright as well. Like the squatting mini game, crazy. This is so weird if you've not played it. You're like, the what? The cross-dressing, the squatting. What are you on about? But yeah,
but there's a lot in there, considering, like you're saying, on the face of it, you know, it's a small part of the actual Final Fantasy VII as a whole. You know, the
Yeah.
original game, but then there's still shitloads of stuff in it.
yeah, like every scene I was looking at it going, you know, the train graveyard,
Yeah.
the sewers, and like yeah, it's like everything is like I think it's really iconic, and I've played it recently, so it's dead fresh in my memory. But I'm so excited for it. And then they had this good announcement because people are clamoring for it to be turn based. Some people have accepted it, and some people want it to be turn based. But the good news is you can now play turn based if you want. The combat on screen will just be happening automatically, and you'll just select in a menu like you would on the original games. And then when the bar's full, the ATB bar or whatever it's called, it does that move for you. But like all the hopping about, it says rather than everyone just standing statically.
Slightly bobbing up and down.
Yeah, it's going to be like a natural evolution of that in the sense that it's going to look more realistic. Like they are rolling and dancing about for
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm looking at it now, like, I was quite excited anyway, but looking at it now, like, it's just really put it down that it's going to be good to me. Like, how it can be shit now after seeing that.
Well, it's very clearly got the Final Fantasy 15 framework, isn't it? And Final Fantasy 15 was really good. So, it's. I think if you go in, the only way I feel like it could disappoint at all is if you're a massive Final Fantasy 7 fan and you get to wherever this portion of the game ends and you feel like, fuck, I felt like I was just getting going, or you'd like how they've packaged it is the thing that I think the reviews will be interesting for that reason. Like if people finish it feeling, I feel like I could have kept going for another 10 hours, or
they probably are as well. They're JRPG fans.
Yeah.
And it ends on a bit of a cliffhanger as well, doesn't it? It doesn't end. It doesn't end with like a feel of closure. It ends in.
It feels like there's more to come.
It ends in a what's next? Oh, like you're literally on the grass field outside of Midgar, and there's a big gate in front of you, and you walk out, and then that's where you have your shit moment.
And this is what I mean. Like, is it going to be that precise moment? It sounds like a natural place to leave it.
It'd be a good place.
But then. How long are people going to be waiting for the next one? And are you going to feel like, well, that was worth 50 quid or whatever?
It's going to be like how the Fellowship of the Ring ends, where you see Frodo and Sam on Mordor's in the distance, and they're on that bit of slate, and then you just and then the real journey is now beginning, and you just go, oh, why can't it be now? And then you're waiting, you're yearning, and that's what it's going to be. This is going to be like that.
Elijah Wood apparently was getting loads of people asking him. At the time when the first film, when Fellowship came out, they didn't realise it was a trilogy and said, that was a great movie, what the fuck was up with the ending?
No.
So Elijah Wood was...
no.
Yeah. Stay tuned for more.
Yeah, exactly. And he had to explain what's the first part of a... but how much of that is, what's that reaction to the ending going to be? I think that's what I'm interested
What would
to
be
see.
a good cheeky little ending is if it ended after the credits with the release date of the next one.
Like a teaser trailer.
Yeah, like Man of Medan did it recently, and I was do you know what though? Like you'll have the main character assets done. They probably would have worked on Vincent and Yuffie, which for those who aren't really aware are like characters that you'll unlock later on in the game. They could be working on them now, couldn't they? Getting prepped, and they'll have the mechanics, they'll have the engine, they'll have everything. So it's just making the set pieces and then getting the voice actors in, and they're probably doing a lot of that ahead of time.
Yeah.
So I can't see it being more than a year and a half between each game. So if that's the case, then I don't think it matters too much. But if it's going to be like Destiny, where it's like it's part of a 10-year plan, but you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm fucking raring to go now, and it's less than 6 months away.
Yes, coming out in March.
3rd of March.
3rd of March, 2020.
That's crazy. It's less than 6 months away. Actually, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, you do seem really excited about this. This is
my favorite game, isn't it? Metal Gear Solid 1 and Final Fantasy 7 are my top games. Yeah,
it's my most anticipated game.
Yeah, it's
that's cool.
and remember that I love the game to death. I recently played it, and I still thought, oh my god, it's amazing. Yeah. And so it's just it's good to see a game redone so bravely. When it comes to Crash Team Racing and stuff, it's just a fresh coat of paint. Crash Team Racing was just the same mechanics, identical timings, everything's the same. There's videos online side by side of Crash Team Racing. There's a guy who's connected his controller up to an emulator and the game, and the game is so similar. He can play one of the games, mirror the controls, and it's still exactly the same. Resident Evil 2 is the bravest and most exciting, ambitious remake I've seen. I'm probably going to be up for people to come in and say Ratchet and Clank or whatever, and that's cool. But I'm saying it's cool to see people flexing a bit, and this is a flex. It's the Final Fantasy 7 engine. They are taking some big changes and giving it not just a fresh coat of paint, but they're changing the way it works. There's voice acting in it, and there's a fresh outlook on it.
I think let's look at Star Wars Battlefront or something, where it's it can be, it can be pretty lackluster, and it seems like that is what they're really showing, that they're actually, I remember when this was announced, and it was well, it's only going to be the first fucking area or whatever, and everyone's well, what? That's not a lot, that's only part. But then they're sort of justifying that in the marketing by showing, well, there's this, we've got all this stuff, we've got, it's going to be, and it all. I feel like the idea has probably come from I don't know when they would have started development, but it just feels like they had Final Fantasy 15 and were like, well, imagine if we did like one of the old ones like this. And
well, they showed it off at E3 2015. That was like when they were showing it. So I don't know if it's been in development before then even, but it's
there was the thing after that where they actually took it off a developer and rebooted
they
it.
restarted it from the ground up because they said that the other development team were just not doing what they wanted. So they completely scrapped it and restarted it and stuff. So
I wonder how linked that is to Final Fantasy, because 15 had that sort of that 10-year thing as well, didn't it? Like a 10-year development stuff, and there's obviously something behind the scenes going on.
10 years it took for Final Fantasy 15 to
Yeah,
come out.
exactly. So they've obviously got something behind the scenes where they know the kind of games they want to be putting out when it comes to Final Fantasy.
It's good to that. It's I like it when a company are good enough to do that. I suppose
It's a big move. Yes, it's so expensive, and if you're going to go, actually, we're going to have to try and do something different here, and because they could have just committed to what it was going to look like and followed through with it, and it would have been a bit disappointing.
Yeah, so it's good to know that they know. Like, I mean, even as far as Final Fantasy 14, remember they took the whole thing down and A Realm Reborn.
That's what I mean. Yeah, so they know what they want it to be,
and they know what fans want, and they can do it really. Yeah. So for all them put together, it's good to have. I think I'm going in with a lot of faith because, like, I know the game and I know like what it looks like. I know what it's going to be like.
The best remake ever is XCOM, but.
Is it? Okay, yeah. I suppose I didn't think about it like that.
No.
And I haven't played the original one, so I just agree with you because, So it's like what is it like? Innocent until proven guilty. Mike, you're right until you're proven wrong.
Until you play it.
I always just take what you say. Yeah.
So that was the big one. We haven't talked about Death Stranding really. Apart from it was, like you said, more vague stuff. But I mean, that's the entire cell. Yeah. Everything is a mystery unless it is fucking.
One thing that's not a mystery is how beneficial it is for your character to drink Monster Energy drink.
One thing that's not a mystery is the rejuvenating power of Monster Energy. Death Stranding, the Hideo Kojima, whatever it is, walking
tour de force.
Buckaroo thing where you've got
it's
like
a Strand action game. That's
what he calls it. Sure. And there was I saw some action bit in it that I think I might have sent it to you guys. Where he's shooting, but he's shooting.
Yeah. It ties around them. Doesn't
I just thought as a visual little thing that was quite nice. It's not a game about this; it's a game about strands.
It's meant to tie into the whole thing.
Tie in.
It's meant to be like non-violent, peaceful, bringing people together, not killing each other and all that.
It looked like the gameplay looked a bit low stakes. Certainly at the beginning, it's like
delivery man,
and then it's like you've got this like I said that like ages ago, and I'm dead right. It's I said it before there was any inclination of what it was going to be like, right? Didn't get it anywhere on the internet. They're going to just do the From Software thing and talk about it pulling people together.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, you can write notes, you can rate people's stuff, and that'll be it, and you can maybe help. I didn't know you could literally summon people from the floor, but you can leave items, you can leave, like, tips and advice, and get rated and stuff like that.
Gaps and stuff like that.
And that's beautiful, because that's a very, apart from when you're getting, like, invaded, it's very unintrusive style of co-op.
Yeah.
Bloodborne, I recently played it, like, 2 weeks ago, and just playing through
again, it should be stated.
Again, yeah,
not for the first time.
Yeah, sorry, again. And then one thing that's just very fresh is like, oh yeah, someone's written "Beware wheelchair." Out of context, that's funny. You can click right, and then knowing that sends them full health on their little side of the world.
And they've helped you out. You know that there's a wheelchair.
Of course,
there's a scary wheelchair around the corner.
There's a man in a wheelchair with a machine gun, right?
It's I love that about the one, but I think that there's going to be ideas like from other games that are coming in, but he's just trying to do something interesting with it. What really, really stands out to me at the moment, is how when the game was first getting announced, and there was like teaser trailers and really mysterious. Do you remember that sequence with the Norman Reedus character where he had like a gun and they were just sort of out in the middle of the wilderness, and it was all like CGI trailer, and they were just hellishly getting taken out by these monsters that are in the game, and the market in the beginning was like really like nightmare fuel, hellish, just horror, and now it's like I don't know if I feel that looking at the gameplay.
No,
Do you know
but
what I mean?
that's to me that's good, right? Because
Yeah, I'm not. That's not a comment. That's just like
Yeah.
something I've noticed in what
Yeah.
that's how they were selling it to begin with, and now you look at the gameplay and it's like, well, it's like Metal Gear Solid 5. you know,
Yeah,
but
no.
how's it going to tie together? Could be cool.
That's what I mean. At when I say I think it's a good thing because I know that he's obviously thought of this overall idea. And you're right. Like the very first trailer was like a bit vague with Beach, but then the second trailer was like Guillermo del Toro's character clutching a baby. There's tanks with like this weird organic matter on there. Then Mads Mikkelsen comes out of the sewers with a bunch of boys and fucks him up. Or it implies that he's going to fuck him up. And then, you're right. And then there's that big demon monster and stuff. But all the gameplay seems very...
Colourful.
Yeah, which is good because you know that stuff's obviously going to be in it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like it's spoiling it. It seems like he's really not wanting to give the game away.
Yeah.
Like
I just hope that it's like this is something that Liam said before we started recording. I hope it's not like the whale situation in Metal Gear Solid 5 where there's a whale, a burning whale flying through the air at the beginning,
And that's that.
and then let's just move on and have a nice military.
Well, that does come back in the most disappointing way ever.
But it's not like you when you first start Metal Gear Solid 5, you're like, fuck, this is...
I loved that mission.
It was
That
amazing.
opening mission was amazing.
The opening is an amazing tone setter, but it does not set the tone for the game.
Yes.
It sets the wrong tone.
Yeah,
It's,
very wrong tone.
So, and I just hope it's not that. I hope it's not like that kind of thing. Which I'm sure it won't be.
I wonder how long the game's going to be because it looks like there's going to be a lot of dawdling and a lot of pilgrimage. But in between, when you get to your destination, if the epic action set pieces are like this weird time bending stuff or whatever. I don't know if they ever confirmed it.
Skeleton
it's in time,
soldiers.
If I just made that
everything.
up. But like I keep thinking that the other side is in the past. Like you seen that World War II trench shit.
Yeah.
It would make
Surely
sense.
got to be the time travel stuff, right?
Bits with lads.
Unless, isn't it like, what is it, the darkness or something like that, where hell is World War One?
That was
Yeah,
that was
that
Darkness
was
one.
could be
that was
like
Darkness
something
one.
like
Yeah,
that.
it could be. Yeah, war is hell.
Yeah.
And these are all ghosts of soldiers or something.
Yeah, could be something
Fuck
like
it, innocently taken. Fuck you. Listen. We'll put it out there, Death Stranding bingo. Do you know what? We should put that up. We should put up like Death Stranding bingo, right?
Before release day.
Yeah. I don't know, man. In fact, I'd like to hear people please get in touch in the comments about your best theory. And listen, don't go trolling through Reddit to find someone else's theory.
Yeah,
Just,
originals only,
yeah,
please.
come on, put some effort in. Be as stupid as you want. It'll be quite funny. I'm interested to see where it's going to go.
Yeah.
I'm interested to piss on some people in the game. See what it's all about. Why did he put it in? Do you know what I mean?
I mean,
Because he can.
that's, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of why is it in there. Just don't worry about it. But that is like a hallmark. There's always been.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid 2, you could
the fucking
hold them up.
yeah.
Get
their
their dog
dick.
tags.
They shake the little thing, and the dog tag falls
People
out.
piss
And
themselves.
even things like the cigarettes, which had uses, but they were just didn't need to be cigarettes to do what you. No, it
It
didn't.
damages
But
your health, but at one point you can see the
You can use it
infrared
to see the
Exactly.
lasers. Yeah.
lasers.
I mean, that's just like a bit of a Kojima hallmark, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
putting some shit in
and
there.
you know what? It always is like cool enough, I think.
It's personality.
Yeah, it is
really.
quite cool. Like the frogs in Metal Gear Solid 3. Why? But why not? Do you know what I mean? So and like, why is there a guy covered in bees for like no reason?
Yeah.
Don't ask
Memorable,
questions,
though,
innit?
isn't it? Do you remember
exactly. So that's what I
Memorable.
mean. I'm looking forward to there being some stupid part of this and going, I'm not here to ask questions. I'm here to get on with it. Do you know what I mean? Not get on with it like it's a chore.
I mean, I'm gonna get it like day one, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm quite surprised actually at how many people online are not interested. To be honest.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
I think I'm the only person who sort of wants it to be bad just because of how amazing it would be if it was shit.
Yeah, if it was
But-
a giant flop. Yeah, no,
Not a giant flop. If
No, it can't
if
be a
re-
commercial flop. There's no way.
no way.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if it was a critical, like, if the games journalism community was just not equipped
Yeah.
to
No, I know what you mean. Like, everyone has Stockholm syndrome for Kojima so
Yeah.
bad that if the game is shite, they'll blame themselves.
Yeah.
They'll be like,
Yeah.
it's me.
It's
who
the
doesn't
children
get
who
it.
are wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
It's-
That's it. Yeah, exactly. So that's what. Yeah, I know you're right. Like, I'll be like, well, I'm clearly missing something here.
yeah.
I'm
This
just
is
not smart enough.
deep satire or parody.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would really like to I wouldn't even be in a room, but I would just like to watch someone play it if it was bad, and know that they then have to.
Don't try to over-explain everything. Yeah.
I would love the consequences of it being a shit game. Is what I'm saying.
Like, I don't know what new IPs he's done other than Metal Gear Solid. Like,
Zone of the Enders.
yeah.
They
the
did
Mech
not get a
Gundam
remake or remaster recently.
It got a remaster, the second one.
Yeah.
Boktai, which was a Game Boy Advance RPG. He was the producer on that. That's it, I think.
Horizon Zero
Boktai?
Dawn as a.
It's called Boktai. It had a cartridge.
Is that the Sunlight
It is the
Vampire game?
Sunlight
That is
Vampire
genius.
game. He designed it.
That is genius. Have you heard of this?
Nope.
I actually had this game, right, when my little sister had it.
What? Sorry, what
She had-
system was it?
Is it
This was a game Kojima worked on when he was still part of Konami.
What system was it on?
GBA,
What console?
Game Boy
right,
Advance.
And it was like a game where you have to fight vampires using sunlight. And the cartridge had a sensor on it that could sense real
you
life
told me
sunlight.
about
Yeah,
this
you had to
before,
charge your gun with it.
Yeah, exactly. And you played it in the daytime. If you played it at night,
You're fucked.
You're fucked.
It's like hard mode at night.
That's another thing I haven't mentioned, but I wonder what is going to be like the like the Colonel going crazy in Metal Gear Solid 2, or that fucking boss from the first one.
Psycho Mantis.
Yeah, the meta.
the wall
What, the
breaker.
fourth
Yeah,
wall
breaker.
what's going to be the wall breaker in
Yeah.
in
Well,
Death
they've got
Stranding?
Norman Reedus, slapping away the camera if you try
Yeah.
and look at his crotch.
Yeah.
Just drink a Monster Energy drink. Is it Monster?
Yeah, they're
It is
going to know.
Monster.
They're going to know. They're going to detect it through the controller if it's in your bloodstream.
Yes.
And that'll keep your energy up.
Yeah, or if you piss too frequently, it's going to make some sort of incontinent joke.
Take the controller to the toilet with you,
Yeah.
and it'll measure the speed and ferocity of your piss. Right, so maybe we should do an email then. So these are emails that are sent to us in our special Dear Special Moves inbox. It's dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. Send us an email if you want us to read out and have a little chat about whatever it is you've got to say. This first one's from Bob the Baker in an exciting twist. Dear Special Moves, I want to thank you guys for all the great recommendations over the past few years, from Divinity Original Sin 2 to They Are Billions and even Akane. Here's one from me though. Check out Far Lone Sails. It's a short and simple game
Done it.
with
Thanks,
amazing
Bob.
atmosphere and stunning art style, and I think you guys would love it. Right, we haven't actually talked about it. I don't think that much, have we? Or did we do a video on it and I'm forgetting?
No, we didn't.
You played it a while ago.
We
Or
played.
Yeah, it's been a
we
while.
played it when it came out.
Yeah. What is it?
It's like this indie side scroller, but with a purpose. There we go.
Ooh.
Is it
But-
one of those games where the less you know, the better?
No, it's very vague. It's very like modern arty kind of.
Yeah. That's always
Postmodern.
what I thought.
It's
There's
like-
basically no UI or anything, is there?
Yeah, you're literally like this person, and you're on like this vehicle. I can't remember if you get a sail to start off with, but it's
It's
kind of
like Jabba the Hutt's barge type of thing, but
it's
with
a very,
wheels.
like almost steampunky,
Yeah.
but not quite. And like it's clear that you're far from home and you're trying to get home or trying to get somewhere. It's very cool that the way that it kind of is vague enough that everyone would get it. Like it's got all the archetypes there, so like you don't know if it's home or a new place. You have to leave your home. You don't know, so you can fill that blanket. But the way that it does that is quite delicate and quite cool. So. A 7-year-old and a 70-year-old could play it, probably get different meaning out of it, but still pretty enjoyable. Very, very simple. Your ship moves along, and then eventually runs out of gas, and then it always runs out of gas near a building or something. You have to do like a little puzzle to get some more battery, or maybe like the wind dies and you need to somehow. It's all about that. So it's kind of incremental puzzle solving, mixed with like nice, breathtaking things that happen in the background on your little sideways ship. It's really cool. It's one of them games where I'm not really doing it justice by speaking about it like that, because it's like Firewatch, isn't it? What's Firewatch about? You're a Firewatch man. I mean, some shit happens. You can't really say.
Yeah.
Far Lone Sails
Worth
isn't
the
like
punt,
that.
though.
It's not like a massive narrative twist. It's just like the little pieces by themselves are all quite nice. And, going from like a dark, dusky area to like, a nice like windmill looking. Like in the new Avengers film where Thor goes to retire. Is that Iceland? Or
Where they shot it, or is he literally in Iceland?
It's
Well,
somewhere
he
in
literally
Norway.
is. I think he's Norway, of course. He's a Norse god.
Right.
Yeah, it's like that fishing village. There's like a place that looks.
I
a little
thought
bit
it was
like
just
that.
some planet. Like he just went, no.
It'll be Norway,
No,
wouldn't it?
he's in Norway.
He's a Norse god. He's
New
played
Asgard.
Fortnite, isn't he? Remember in
It'll
real?
be Norway, innit?
He's Norse.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
I thought,
obvious
it,
now.
But
I
the
thought
thing
it was like
is-
Scottish Highlands.
But let me
at
counter you with this one, boys. There is an Asgard, and it's in fucking space in Marvel films, isn't it? So
Yeah,
I
he's
didn't
playing
know if it was
a
Fortnite
realm,
against
yeah.
people, humans, though.
That's
innit? So-
true. Yeah.
But yeah, I've got to say,
Oh fuck! No, I got confused. I thought Thanos,
Oh,
I thought, when he's sat there
in that,
and he's
weird,
retired.
swampy area.
Yeah,
farm. Yeah,
yeah.
with his
Sorry,
little
my
paradise
apologies.
planet.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was
Picking fruit.
wrong god. Yeah.
wrong god. Yeah, and I was like, hang on, Thanos isn't
Hey,
the fucking.
Thanos isn't a god.
So the Norse god I've heard of.
Far Lone Sail. It's nice. It's one of them where it'll be a PS Plus game in a month, 2
Okay.
months.
I feel like it might have already been a
It
PS
probably
Plus game.
has been. It's pretty cool.
I would have claimed it.
Oh,
I think.
yeah.
So
Okay.
It's
but
one of
it
those. It's as far as I remember, it's made by a bunch of university lecturers, and
Yeah.
I think the music and art direction was done by one dude. It's like oil painting.
Yeah.
The backgrounds are very nice.
That's what I have always thought looking at it, that it looks like concept art brought to life. Like someone's drawn a concept art and someone's gone, that'll be quite a nice
It's
game.
a Sigur Rós album come to life.
But Bob the Baker really, really liked it and recommends it. So pick that up. It is sort of frequently on sale.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours long.
Yeah.
3 hours at a push.
It's on the Switch as well, isn't it? I've seen it on the Switch.
I can't remember.
Do you know
We got a key for it the day it came out. That's how I know about it.
Yeah.
So I don't and loads of games like this start off on Steam and then they'll have
Yeah,
a console
yeah,
launch later
yeah,
down the line. And it's one of those games I don't have any desire to go back to it. It's like an experience that's just
You've done it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's very, very linear. So
Okay. Well, let's do another email then. While we're at it, I suppose.
Okay.
This one is from Livonu Edwards. I'm sorry if I've said that wrong, Liv. Dear Special Moves, me and my friends jumped into No Man's Sky around the next update, which was when was that?
Last July,
year?
the 26th, I think.
And the game pretty much chucked us into fixing our ships along with staying alive and not much instruction. My friends had no issue with this. And managed to get on with the game with no problems. However, for me, the game was confusing. My brain just couldn't understand it, and so it managed to overwhelm me so much that it broke me into tears. Being an autistic gamer, I never thought I would have issues like this. It's not something I usually experience, and I've played a ton of survival games too with no issues, but something with No Man's Sky really got to me and managed to break me in a way that my partner had to come and help me. I stopped playing the game with only 5 hours game time, and with such a bad experience, I don't think I will ever return to the game. Just thought I'd share my experience, as there's been a lot of talk of No Man's Sky recently. Take care, love the podcast, Liv.
Thank you.
Nice
Thank
one.
you.
Good email.
Well, I think I know the answer. Maybe.
Yeah, go on.
I think it's as simple as this. I'm going to take a complete stab here, but a lot of it is down to logic, right, when it comes to crafting games. So, you know what wood is, you know what fire is. But with No Man's Sky, in the next update, loads of the things that were very, very, very simple, like carbon and oxygen, were replaced with, these made-up elements. So that's when I get confused, because I'm not really completely...
Some of them were I don't know if they were made up, but they were fucking 97 on the periodic table or something, which no one's ever heard of unless you've studied biochemistry.
Yeah, polonium or something, but with a pH, of course. And then it's
naturally.
Yeah, and then there's loads of bits. It's just even now, when I'm playing this new one, it's so do I need sodium nitrate or sodium dioxide? What's my launch thruster thing? And with my launch thruster, do I need metal sheets as well? How do I make that again? Oh yeah, it's ionized cobalt.
Yeah.
Do I get cobalt from the sea? It's a lot of that.
There's two flavors of sci-fi, right? One of them is the Marvel, we need the red crystal to do the thing. But then the other one is exactly that, ionized cobalt.
2 parts ionized cobalt, 1 part gold, and some uranium will make the perfect launch thruster
unless
fuel.
you recently did your A-levels, who the fuck is going to know?
Exactly that. And I think that, because... And some of the things have double uses and stuff like that. And the fact that it's not even ship rebuilding, it's ship maintenance. It's ongoing.
Yeah.
You have this constant overwhelming need to gather resources to just to it's got this weird knock-on effect, I think, No Man's Sky has. So it's I need to go to a planet to get frost crystals, to make glass, to make this. So I need to get launch fuel stuff to get to the planet with frost crystals on. I get to the frost crystal planet, but then my suit is going down because I'm in a cold planet, so then I need to get life support stuff.
Yeah.
All of these have different minerals, so you need to get something, to get something, to get something. And it's one of those really bad side quests where it's collect the 5 boar tusks to make the potion to send to the witch to send. So
it is a bit like they have tilted a little bit too far towards the old, we need something to do. The No Man's Sky launched with a chronic lack of things to do. So the first thing they did really was implement this massive expansion of the crafting system, so that there were shitloads that needed doing. Now, I actually love the thing of, when you find a new ship in the game, like there's a crashed ship and you land next to it and you're like, oh, this has got some good stuff, but then everything's broken in the ship, but you want to upgrade, you want to switch ships to this one. I love that whole process of like, okay, I'm going to do this ship up in this crashed ship on the planet. I'm going to fix the thrusters and I'm going to, clear space in the hull so I can put my stuff in it. That's a cool, like, that's what No Man's Sky wants you to do. It wants you to have like sci-fi-ish experiences that could be like a short story or something. But then you spend like so much of your time getting these fucking hyper-specific, ingredients and that for it. That have got like these baffling names and stuff,
and some of them like require interplanetary trips, which is
absolutely
the name of the game, of course. But sometimes it can be a bit of a pain.
To the point where you boys know me well at this point, but surely is it just right? Maybe this is just classic Mike, right? But I get to the point where I'm like, what the fuck was I actually doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll take off and I'll land on a planet. I'm like, why did I come here again, though?
No, of course.
Because it is like, if you want to fly to another planet, it can take minutes.
Of course.
You've got so many different things, John, to keep an eye on at the same time. You forget what you're actually doing.
I realise that I'm senile beyond my years.
No, it's really like that.
It comes to games, anyway.
This frost crystal thing I was on about was like true and anecdotal. So I remember getting these frost crystals. But I ended up looting like enough stuff then I thought I'd stop by at the little space station thing to sell my stuff.
Yeah.
Because my base doesn't have a trade terminal on it. It does now, but it didn't at the time. And on the way there, because I had loads of like good loot, pirates came. I had to defend them. Do this, and I'm like, oh, fuck off. But like,
it's weird, isn't it? It's a weird
and like I
scenario.
felt like I spent so much time setting myself up. So now, like, I'm rich beyond belief on the game now, right? Because I've worked hard to do that, so I never have to.
Pirates, you know what I mean?
I never have to do another one of them. Build a ship up. I've got an S-class ship. I'm sorted for life.
Yeah.
It's like I had to work hard for that. I feel like an old man. I feel like a farmer from around here. Like when they're farmers around here, they do that thing. They finally buy a Land Rover Discovery. That's what it's like now. Like, I've got an S-class golden snitch ship, and I'm like, I'm just chuffed. But it's constantly upkeep, and that's what's overwhelming. Because like, to me, like, if I'm playing Skyrim, say, I make sure I clear my quest log, and then I'll only take on quests.
Yeah,
because I don't like having that messy quest. Like my Borderlands save now.
I'm exactly the same. That's one of the worst things about RPGs. Like got back into The Witcher 3 again very lightly recently. But that's before you know it, you're a level fucking 7 or something at the beginning, and there's like level 21 quests and that, and so you've got a level 21 quest in your quest log for hours. I hate that sort of thing
because you're level locked behind doing it, which is.
But why is it there as a to do? If I have,
because it's there as a to do because you've got sick of reading every single note on a fucking town noteboard, so you just press X on everything, and then you've accidentally took on this quest like a dick. That's what I do.
But some of them you just go up and speak to someone, and they'll say, "Will you help me with this?" And you're like, "Yeah, go on then." But then it's a fucking
come back when you've got fucking bigger arms.
I'll see you in 60 hours. But it's So the question for Liv, I reckon, now is: has it actually improved since No Man's Sky Next? And I would say it has a little, but definitely not enough. If you had that bad of an experience with it,
the workload hasn't decreased, but the tutorial system and the way it strings you along to knowing exactly what you're looking for is a lot better now. You can pin recipes. Every single thing has an answer on it now. So you'll launch thrusters. It'll tell you exactly what you need and exactly how to make
quality of life wise.
Yeah,
it's better. But the essential thing of what you're actually doing, which we've just been talking about, loads of crafting, gathering resources that are on different planets, and that is still a big part of the game, but it's just that they've made it slightly smoother, and you can probably understand what you're looking at a lot better. But because for me, I'd exactly be like you. Like I if something like gets on my head like that, I'll just be like, I just can't be asked.
No, I know what you mean. I actually, until I found the planet I'm on, which is now I think it's literally called a blissful planet. I had this like the film It Follows. Yeah. Like I had not an anxiety, but I didn't feel like I could settle anywhere because there's always something chipping away at your oxygen, or always something chipping away at your life support. And I just wanted to find somewhere where it would all just stop.
Wouldn't it be
apart from the sweet release of Space Death? My best bet was to find a blissful planet, but the chances of finding one is like 1 in 18,000 or something.
Yeah, because there's so many different. To the game's credit, there's loads of different types of planets.
I couldn't find a place I felt comfortable in the game, so I felt like this constant not an anxiety, but like something was hot on my heels for hours and
Yeah.
hours and hours and hours, and now I can finally relax
Yeah.
in the knowledge that I've got a nice place.
But then the game is transformed like fucking on a philosophical level from what it was at the beginning. At the beginning, it was just there's space, just go and have a wander, go and have a look, and it was so thin, like there was nothing driving you behind. Now they've not just put a lighter under your ass, they've put like 1,000 lighters under your ass, and you just have
I don't really think that's going to help them. With that.
Yeah, but it's
you thought the heat was on now. They've cranked the baby up.
But they've really put in the muscle on you to fucking get moving and get a move on. Go and do this thing. Go and do that. And the game has sort of changed, from what it originally was, I suppose. And I wouldn't be surprised because Sean Murray keeps going on about. You can see it when he's talking about it. It's sort of not quite what he wanted even when he's talking about it positively now. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of their final updates was like something that took it way back to
No Man's Sky Classic.
Yeah, with all of the extra stuff, right? But you just had, fucking the Murray edit. Do you know what I mean?
Director's
cut, yeah. So you had because the
Man's Sky Classic, calling it now, man.
the game's already got 4 different modes. It's got permadeath, survival mode, creative mode, which I suppose is kind of like just go off and do whatever you want.
And then
the actual, story exploration mode. I wouldn't be surprised if they added one more that was No Man's Sky Classic, and that was like very thin thread pulling you through the game.
Yeah.
But the aim of the game is just to explore.
Just explore mode. Yeah. You're the chosen one. Go and find the fucking what's it called? Not the Apostle.
Do you know
what's
what
that thing called? Atlas.
Yeah.
The Apostle.
Well, everything's got either an Apostle or an Atlas in it these days. That's the golden rule of
actually in
storytelling.
Borderlands 3 there's a big Atlas.
Of course it does. Yeah. I think the No Man's Sky story at the moment is another thing that if you could get on with the crafting, the way that they sort of there's actually like there's definitely at least 3 main story threads that sort of overlap. So you've got and you're sort of which one am I going to follow? And then one of them, and they sort of don't, as a story device, they have you not trusting the other one. And they say, oh, the Atlas, that's a liar. Don't trust don't follow the Atlas. But then the Atlas is going, hey, come over here.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
it's true. I'm just trying to build the farm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And then you've got competing, cosmic philosophies going on.
It's all a bit too grand for me. Yeah. Give me a space farm.
Yeah. So No Man's Sky Classic, that's going to happen. Thanks for the email, Liv, for raising an important subject there.
And it's good to see an email like that. It's not just really a question. It's just a point of view.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
It's like
that's
the
a great
good old
email.
days where people used to write physical letters to radios for some reason.
Yeah. More of that, please. Nice one, Liv. So if you want to send us an email,
not physical letters, just points of view.
It's dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. That's dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. Send us an email and we'll have a little chat about it. Right, we've got, I think, we definitely have pretty much got one video coming out next week, haven't we? And then
I'd like to do
maybe
2.
2.
What you're alluding to is, of course,
Borderlands
3, which we all played. We were playing it together last night. Mm-hmm. But I want to do Mutazione because I played it and it's like fucking good.
Yeah, what is it then?
It's just this.
Say the name again?
Mutazione.
Okay.
So it's like Night in the Woods, Oxenfree. I don't know what you'd call that type of game.
Yeah.
I called it a talking simulator earlier.
Yeah, Jake did this. It's not really a walking sim, but a talking sim?
Did I do that voice? Did I do it with inflection like a barista?
Yeah. A Southern barista.
Did I? Yeah. It's just I've been in Pratt and I've been thinking about it for hours.
You've been working in Bath recently, mate.
Yeah. Sadly not. So what it is, it's like
lovely place.
It comes out on Thursday, but I've been working on it, and we work on quite a lot of games, and I try to not cover a game on the channel just because I'm working on it. Like Creature in the Well that came out like last week or whatever, we all had copies of it early, and it wasn't worthy of a chat, so we didn't talk about it. But this one, I'm playing it, and I'm like, fucking hell. First of all, when we were talking about it, just us 3, I was saying it's like Night in the Woods and Oxenfree, and we couldn't think of many more games like that. So first of all, it's not a game that you see that often. Yeah. But I'm finding it to be the best example of this.
Even the presentation is sort of similar in those games, where the art style is not very far apart in the 3 games somehow.
Yeah.
And they're sort of presented from a 2D plane. But then
sometimes it's like a pop-up book.
Yeah, pop-up book's a good way of putting it. But you're looking at it sort of side on,
or a posh birthday card. ones with like textures and layers, but it still looks
a Moonpig type.
Yeah,
deal.
it looks like paper though, doesn't it? Kind of, but not. But yeah, I want to do something about it because well, first of all, I think as video content, it's going to look nice because look at the game.
Oh, it's lovely.
The art is nice. So talking over it, it's a good one to look at. And then second of all, like unless the ending, because I'm right near the end, and I know where it's going. I'm pretty sure. Well, I thought I know where Night in the Woods was going, and that took a bit of a turn. But unless it fucks up big time, it'll be the best example of this that I've seen. So I'd like to do that. So hang tight on that. And if we don't, I'll talk about it in the next podcast, just so we've covered it off now that I'm talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But Borderlands, we did end up playing.
Yeah, Liam, you've played loads of this, haven't you?
I'm level 30 now.
Yeah,
oh,
of course you are, mate.
I'm level 23 or 4. I thought I did quite well. I got 5 levels this morning, and I thought I've done well there. Caught up with Liam. Fucking hell.
Of course you have, mate. How are you finding it, Liam?
I'm liking it so far, but to be fair, it's pretty much just more Borderlands.
It very much is
so,
more Borderlands.
Gameplay wise, it hasn't really changed all that much. There's probably some people out there who disagree with that, but if you played Borderlands 1 and 2 to death and you're looking for more of that, this will be right up your alley.
It literally begins. I mean, you could mistake it for Borderlands 1.
They all start the same way, with you coming across Claptrap, and he takes you through a bandit camp, kill a few bandits, you have a bit of a boss fight, and then that's the introductory quest.
It's even got the bus, and it's got the old the sort of Russian guy saying, "Oh, you got let me tell you about the Vault Hunters" intro.
Yeah,
which
with
is
like the painting,
which is unskippable, which is infuriating. Yeah.
I've heard people trying to try out all characters before they settle on one. I've had to see that cutscene all the time.
Ridiculous, man. Yeah, so I picked a character, and we wanted to like all pick different characters. Just because we're going to be chatting about it in a video, innit? Get a good spread on that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make so I thought that Liam had gone for one and Jake had gone for another, and then I picked the one that Liam had gotten, and then Liam said, "Oh, I've picked that one." So I was like, all right, no worries. I want to try a different one, and then so I had to quit out and watch the whole fucking thing again.
Yeah, it's infuriating.
It was so annoying, and it was like annoying the first time because I was just like, I just don't care, man. It's a game about shooting bandits in the head. I don't care about Vault Hunters. I don't care about all this.
Voice acting and humour definitely not going to be for everyone.
I've got to say, I want to put this point out here that I haven't seen on the internet yet, but I think needs to be out here.
Go on,
so
mate.
Let me put it out here.
Go on.
Everyone that likes this game, if Ubisoft made this game, you'd fucking hate it.
Right, and on that
Thank
mic
you very, very
mic
much.
drop, we'll let you know that we're doing a big proper video on it.
We're not going to be just moaning about it either.
No. There's loads to talk about. It's a big game, and it's a big AAA game. Feels like it's the start of the old season, innit? The old gaming Christmas run up. So
you know what? You're so fucking right. Hot chocolate and a game about shooting and looting is like the way to start your fucking winter off.
That's your September.
That's it. Yeah.
I remember I got the first Borderlands for Christmas.
Yeah, back in the day.
There you go. Emotional ties to the story
Christmas
and everything.
Day, playing it.
Fucking
good times.
It's all coming back to him now, man.
Yeah.
Well, look forward to more of that later this week when we do a Borderlands 3 video.
Christmas story.
And and Jake's game Mutazione.
Mutazione.
Mr. Tony.
Yeah, Mr. Tony.
Mr. Tony.
Jake's game Mr. Tony. We're going to be chatting about that as well, hopefully. But there are a few games coming out this week. Again, it's a busy old time now, isn't it? Thank fuck.
Yes.
Yeah,
like a couple of specials.
Some good stuff this week.
Well, you're pointing and nodding at Liam. I've got no idea why, so I'm going to ask
Liam. Me and Liam have agreed that if you don't read out the game that we want, we're going to be fucking...
Well, I'm going to be totally honest. I'm just looking at the Wikipedia, so it might not even be on there.
Should we go with 2? We know.
Go on, do it right now.
All right.
New releases coming up this week.
Untitled Goose Game.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's it. Don't you worry.
That's on Friday.
Yeah.
I think.
The 20th.
Yeah.
And that's a game about being an entitled goose.
Yes.
Who?
Yes. That's it.
Specifically, an arsehole goose.
Yeah.
It's your job to piss people off in that game.
Yeah.
So stealing the farmer's hat.
Yeah.
And then honking at him.
So you can can you control the beak independently, or can you
go
up and go? I want to bite that thing.
Oh, like a beak button.
Yeah. Is there a beak activate?
Control the beak.
Yeah.
Can you use the right analog stick to move the head up and down?
The right stick controls how open or closed the beak mouth is.
There's going to be a honk button.
Yeah.
There's got to be
For sure there's a honk
button, fly button, peck button.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no toilet button
Did you
because
design
there's no
this game? 'Cause it
fucking
sounds like it.
Kojima involved. But
Is there any
tell
fucking
you what,
Monster
though, yeah,
Energy?
there is a bit of a chicken run vibe or Metal Gear Solid 1 vibe to it. You know, hiding
Bit
around.
of stealth.
There is a
Yeah.
bit of stuff.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, Liam, I think you have nailed it basically, and I actually haven't seen anyone else saying this, so it's going to be Donut County, I reckon, all
Yeah.
over. Like,
Yeah.
so if you don't know what I'm on about, Donut County is a game that came out, I don't know, 2017, I suppose. Hole.io, you'll probably know, ripped off Donut County, but because Hole.io had loads of developers, they made it quick before
Yeah.
Donut County came out. So it actually came out first. But Donut County is like this one game, very similar art style and Untitled Goose Game.
Pastel-y as hell and sort of
Yeah,
colourful.
Yeah, and it came from, I think it might be the second ever Special News podcast I spoke about Donut County, because I told you that it came from a Peter Molyneux parody account tweet.
Yeah.
Because he'd made a tweet saying, imagine Katamari, but in reverse. You play as a hole, it gets bigger. And someone actually just thought, that's
Yeah.
funny, I'll make a game out of it. Which I always
Which was, yeah.
But that game was very fun. It had actually got quite a funny story to it as well. Like, I mean, in the game, there's a story like about raccoons and such. But like, it was about 2 hours long.
Yeah.
I reckon this will be the same. Like
Yeah.
Liam said it, and I agree completely. So it's going to be like 2 hours long.
It'll be 2 hours long, but very funny and memorable, I
Yeah.
think.
It's been every show that we've been to since it's been announced, they've had like one unit there or something.
Yeah.
And it's been fucking
Dedicated.
crazy
I
So
popular.
even at Gamescom, there was like two.
One.
Since it's been announced,
Yeah.
we've been to 3 different trade shows, and all the time it was the most popular game
Yeah,
there.
Oh,
but
yeah.
they only but they treated it like any of the other like little indies where there's just one unit. And
Yeah, I'll
a
never
massive
forget. I'll
queue of
never
people
forget
wanting to play it.
seeing Dark Souls and Diablo on the Switch. The queues for that, like they had more units, but the queues were like, eh.
Yeah.
But the queues for this was like
Massive,
honk.
massive.
Yeah.
So that's coming this week. That's coming on Friday the 20th. It's coming to the Nintendo Switch and PC. What was the other one? Was it Ni no Kuni?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't going to say this, but I forgot about it entirely.
I've got my copy already, but
All
I'm
right,
not allowed to tell
we'll
you.
mention that
You
now.
know,
then.
Kuni Remastered, well worth a go. Best Welsh character in a video game.
Yes, it
Is this Wrath of the White Witch?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
Drippy High Lord of the Fairies.
That's it, boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got away with that.
Progressing-
Scot-free. Fucking amazing. Mike's gonna watch this back and be like, "You fuckers."
What? Because you're advancing racial stereotypes.
Continuously, yes. And we're never gonna stop until someone dethrones him as best Welsh
it's a game
character.
made
Well, everyone
by
else is doing it in
Studio Ghibli.
2019. You might as well join in.
Yeah.
So the
Studio
racist,
Ghibli,
the
the game.
racist game Ni no Kuni is out
Yeah.
on September the 20th.
It is, and it is the Studio Ghibli game. So it's a game that came out on PS3
Yep.
originally, and it was kind of locked to PS3 because
Yeah.
of PS3's weird exclusivity thing. Now it's unleashed, Ghibli unleashed, and
More racist than ever.
well, just the same amount of racism actually, just high fidelity.
Just in
Well,
4K.
exactly. It's more colourful and vibrant.
Yeah. So it's a game where you play. It's a game where you play as a lovely little boy whose cuddly toy comes to life. That's what's even funny.
Who happens to be
Hey,
Well,
a Welsh
'cause
racial
his
stereotype.
mum
character.
dies.
because his mum died.
That's not a spoiler. That is the very
No,
first thing that happens.
It
in the
opens
game.
up beautifully, and yeah, it's if you played Ni no Kuni 2 first, because that came out on
Yeah.
PS4 and stuff, and you might not have played
Very
Ni no
different
Kuni 1.
games.
They are really different. So like, yeah, just be wary of that. If you think, oh, well, I like
This
the
one's
second
kind of
one.
like Pokemon.
It is more like
You catch
Pokemon.
monsters and you use them in battle.
Yeah, and it's turn based more
it's turn-based,
rather
yeah.
than action based. So that's already out. I've been playing it, but I didn't know if it's going to be worth a video to talk about afterwards or.
Well,
or
yeah.
what.
we'll
So
see where we
maybe
are.
It's a beautiful
I'll talk
game.
about it in the next podcast at least
Yeah.
because I'm revisiting it.
So that's coming
One of
to
the best JRPGs on PS3.
Switch, PC, and PS4 on the 20th. That's Friday again. And the other big one that's coming on Friday.
all of these were on Friday?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening.
It's a hell of a Friday.
We
That's
got a podcast on a
remake.
Sunday. Do you know what I mean? They're little bastards. Put it out on Tuesday. We can do them.
Give us some fucking time.
well, Goose Game will be an easy one.
Yeah. It's
2 hours
true.
long.
So Link's Awakening is
I
coming
think.
on Nintendo Switch exclusively on the 20th of September. So this looks really nice.
I'm looking forward to this.
They revealed this in a direct, didn't they? It was like right at the end, if I remember.
Was it
I
last
think so.
year's direct?
It might have
Might have
been,
been
yeah.
earlier this year, I think. But maybe it was
It
last
definitely, they announced it and they had a firm release date on it.
I feel like it was sort of April, March this year. But maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyway. They sort of revealed it in a direct, and they put it right at the end as like the one more thing
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
And it was fucking lovely. It looks like a total. Well, it is a total remake, and it looks like almost diorama-ish, but
Yeah, it looks like if you look at what a shadow box is online, then you'll see not shadow box as in punch in the air,
Yeah.
but Or Lightbox, I don't know, but you'll see. And yeah, it's got this chibi, don't know how you
Yeah,
pronounce
yeah,
it,
absolutely,
art
yeah.
style.
Chibi.
Yeah, it looks like Dunlop would sell a pack of these figures, and you could buy it in an Argos catalogue.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like
All right.
it looks like a plasticine
Yeah.
sort of manufacturer.
But it's a Zelda classic, and it's a mix of chopping grass and solving puzzles in temples.
One of the weirder Zelda games as well.
Totally.
It's weirdly inspired by Twin Peaks.
Did
you know that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It came out when Twin Peaks was just on the air, and they fell in love with it and put loads of references to it in there.
There's a
That's
lot
cool.
of very weird stuff in this. From what I remember as a kid, like I thought all Zeldas were going to be like this because this is like the first
Right.
one I played, and then I moved on and I was like, oh, they're a bit straighter than this one, which
Yeah.
was like really like kind of offbeat. It just felt a bit like.
I didn't know what offbeat was when I was 7, mate. So you're doing better than I was.
Well,
I-
I've adapted that. Yeah, Apple Arcade launches on 19th with 150 games, not on launch, but slowly being folded in.
Okay.
They're going to change on a monthly basis. That it's like
Oh, I don't know about that. But you can download and keep it.
no, you can't keep it.
Man.
You can download it, and when it's gone, it's gone. And it's $4.99 in dollars for a family
No,
subscription.
but all right. Say they. What I mean is, like, say they put Red Dead Redemption on there. You want to play it. You download Red Dead Redemption, but
Yeah.
you haven't played it by the time the month is up.
That's
I'm not
it.
saying you own it forever, but can you still play it while you're a subscriber?
Not-
That's hard, man. That's
Yeah. No, I don't know how many of these games are going to be added for 1 month at a time, or if they. But I know that every month there's a change. You know, like how on Netflix they
Okay.
just incrementally
okay.
change like little titles
Yeah.
every now and then. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird thing. I think it's worth talking about just because, well, so it's been obviously in talks for a long time, but they only announced the release date of it last week.
Along with the iPhone 11 and all that.
Yeah, which I think was on Thursday last week.
right.
And it's like in 1 week's time there'll be that.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, like, what the quality like, because this is another thing, like they've worked really hard on getting a lot of cool exclusives. So there's a lot of games releasing for the first time there, and like no one's heard of them because they're under like such a strict NDA. So out of nowhere, like I'm seeing these games like the Journey people, the Abzu people, who are different people, even though the games look so fucking similar. Have got exclusives on there and things like that. And
There's, what was it? Exit the Gungeon? Sequel to Enter
yeah,
the Gungeon?
so that's a weird one. That is a weird one.
They said that's debuting on Apple Arcade.
Yeah, I think
So
same-
vague wording.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm hoping for Orcs Must Die 3, you know. Like, I hope it's a timed exclusive on Stadia.
Yeah,
I'm sure it would be,
Yeah.
unless it's been bankrolled by
by Google.
the Goog.
Yeah. They haven't said timed. But why would they? When they say
Well,
it's
you know.
available right now, exclusively on Stadia.
How
They're
many
not going to say, or you can wait 6 months to check it out on our competitors.
Yeah, I'm holding that hope. Like,
Yeah.
It'd be
'cause
silly if it was exclusive.
Yeah.
it would work. That's a game that works on every platform. So why the fuck wouldn't it be on every platform? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So-
You
Do
could-
they, do they really need the power of the cloud that
Yeah.
badly?
we need the
Yeah.
Switch. Well, that's what we
Like,
need.
loads of orcs. Like, great.
Yeah, we can have
There's
7,000 Orcs on
Yeah.
screen. But the reason I wanted to bring it up just because I know that when the next podcast goes live, there'll probably be about 2,000 videos about the Apple Arcade,
Yeah.
the games you need to try, or
Yeah.
is it worth it? And it's going to be a big talking point in
Yeah.
gaming especially because mobile's so big. But yeah, I wanted to say because I feel like you blink and you miss it. Like I can't even remember if we even spoke about it this week.
I've not even. I've
It
not
sort
thought
of
about
came
it.
and went.
Yeah, it is a bit mad.
Because,
Yeah.
people don't think Apple gaming doesn't really equate in their minds,
And they
does
can,
it?
that's what I mean. They just slip that in next to like, oh, here's our phone with 3 cameras.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And it works across iOS and Mac OS as well, I think.
yeah,
So if you've got a MacBook, you can
Yeah.
subscribe and play these
it
games.
is. You can play it on your TV,
Yeah,
iPad,
your Apple TV.
all everything Apple. But from what I know, like they're putting a lot of effort into it. So yeah, let's see what
Yeah,
happens.
it feels like it's not unless you're like well in the Apple ecosystem. You know, I don't know.
It's not much
Yeah.
point.
It's not. Yeah, it's. I have to say, it's not interesting to me yet. But I'll wait and see, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't exist yet, does it? So
I mean,
I can't.
I don't
yeah.
own any Apple devices. I can
Yeah,
play it.
well,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Like what was the best case scenario is that on Thursday they launch. There's gonna be loads of games that we're all like, oh my god, there's so many fucking cool games.
I've got to go buy an iPad.
And then in 6 months' time, they all come out on PC.
Yeah.
And then when we do this next time in 6 months and we go, oh, yeah, remember that game from Apple Arcade that's coming out on PC?
No, what's Apple Arcade? That's what I'll
It'll be discontinued.
So that was the Special Moves Podcast, episode 49. Remember, you can listen to us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts. Please do review us on there if you are listening to us, because it really fucking helps. It helps loads. Helps us get seen.
That's help us reach total podcast domination.
Yeah.
We're like in the top 20 in the world, you know,
yeah.
on Apple Podcasts. Why don't you just listen
That's
to the
ranked
top...
by upper body strength, though.
Absolutely. Like, we could be top 10 in the world. And then you could just... That's it.
Yeah.
I feel like, Borderlands 3 is about those bad streamers that are like... That's what it's going on. So maybe don't review us, all right?
Yeah.
You think about it. It's up to you.
And if you are listening to us, you can watch it if you want to do that on YouTube. The whole thing, start to finish.
You're missing out on a salt lamp.
Yeah.
There's sometimes there's like balloons.
All sorts.
Not all the time, but
little
sometimes.
Fallout coasters that are obscured by the cups that we've put on top of them.
Yeah. You can rate our t-shirt game.
Sorts of fun.
Yeah.
Support us on Patreon if you want to get access to the bonus podcast, which we're going to record after a swift coffee right now.
Yeah.
Talking about some films and TV and off-topic stuff generally.
Yeah.
And just come back next week, innit? Cheers. See ya.